WTM Global Trends Report in association with Euromonitor International. My name is Nicole Collette, and I'm the Press and PR Executive on World Travel Market. And I'm delighted to see so many people here today. This year, we celebrate 10 years of this great report, which has a track record for predicting the trends within the travel industry. The report is split into 9 chapters, and each one representing a region of the World Travel Market exhibition floor. So we have the UK and Ireland section, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, the Americas and the Caribbean, Asia, India, Global Village, and the Travel Tech Show at WTM. Euromonitor International has assembled a high-level panel as led today by Head of Travel, Caroline Brumner, and who are here to answer any questions you might have after today's report. So without further ado, I'll introduce you to the well-known journalist and broadcaster, Juliette Morris, who will present today's findings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Right, let's kick off with a short video. So a very good morning, everybody. I'm here to take you through the Global Trends Report in a little more detail, and then you'll have a chance to put any questions that you might have to the team who compiled it. They're going to be joining us after this to take any questions. So the main findings of the Global Trend Report for 2015 shows us how in the US, companies are giving employees unlimited holidays, whilst in the UK, secondary cities are turning to digital strategies to attract visitors. In Europe, hipster districts are enticing tourists, while travel technology is experiencing a personalization revolution. And Iran is shaping up to be the next must-see destination in the Middle East. In Africa, technology startups are boosting tourism, and in the Global Village, luxury hotels are looking at crowdsourcing and crowdfunding for new properties. In Asia, the sharing economy is expanding in China, whilst in India, travel companies are helping the unbanked by introducing alternative payment schemes. So, let's start now with a brief global overview. The global economy continues to be somewhat uncertain in 2015. Global GDP growth of 3.2% is predicted for the year, but there's also continued geopolitical unrest across the globe, oil price volatility, and a Chinese economy struggling with recent sharp stock market falls. However, travel and tourism continues to grow, with arrivals reaching over 1.1 billion in 2014, according to the UN WTO. Outbound Chinese travellers are still on the rise, reaching over 84 million for 2014, as increasing disposable income encourages overseas trips. The mobile booking channel has also hit the mainstream, accounting for $96 billion of travel sales globally last year. Excluding mobile sales, which are predicted to see dramatic increases as smartphone ownership continues to expand across the globe, growth in travel sales and expenditure will remain relatively constant over the next 5 years. Average spend isn't likely to change, but total travel expenditure will rise by just under 5% each year as the overall number of people taking trips carries on increasing. So let's kick off our look at the World Travel Market Global Trends Report in association with Euromonitor International by heading to the Americas, where holiday allowances are changing. So Americans have notoriously limited holiday entitlement compared to their European counterparts, with no legal minimum of paid holidays. An annual survey by Expedia shows that 54% of Americans feel vacation deprived. This attitude is changing, with around 1% of companies, including Netflix and Evernote, taking the brave step of offering employees unmonitored or unlimited holidays. More holidays would obviously be a win-win for the travel industry and for employers, with benefits for both, coupled with an improved work-life balance for employees. According to John Morrey, Vice President and General Manager of Expedia, somewhere between 80 and 90% of people worldwide say that vacations make them feel happier, better rested, and closer to their family, less stressed and more relaxed. These are all emotions that correlate to a productive employee, so it's almost paradoxical. Spend more time away from work, and you might just be a better performing employee. Last-minute bookings and package holidays will benefit from this trend, as employees are more likely to take organised trips rather than opting for independent travel that requires more lengthy planning. Trips are also likely to spread out over the year, rather than everybody struggling to take time off around public holidays when prices tend to be higher. While the US ranks third globally for package holiday value sales at $23 billion, its per capita ranking is 27th, illustrating that there's room for expansion with extra holiday allowances. Other countries, such as South Korea and Japan, also have limited holidays and are possible locations for future holiday allowance changes. So now let's turn to the UK, where digitalisation is boosting travel and tourism in secondary cities. London is undeniably the jewel in the crown of UK tourism, with over 17 million overseas visitors in 2014, according to London and Partners. However, other UK urban centres are redefining their tourist offerings, with many turning to digitalisation and high-tech solutions to attract visitors. This can range from simple smartphone applications and online games to smart cities that use big data to transform the urban experience for both residents and tourists alike. The UK Smart City Initiative, where digital technology is embedded in a city to make urban living more efficient, can also impact tourism by improving transport, accessibilities and facilities. So, according to Jeff Snelson, Head of Strategy at Milton Keynes Council, the Smart City initiatives have already increased visitors to Milton Keynes, notably business and government tourists who wish to learn about deploying technology in practice. Domestic and international leisure visits are also likely to grow in the future due to the city's enhanced profile for technology attractions, such as driverless cars. The UK's Smart City initiative has been rolled out in Bristol, Cambridge, Glasgow and Milton Keynes, developing Internet of Things projects to create efficient urban services. These projects can help cities differentiate themselves from competitors by offering cutting-edge technology apps to help visitors make the most of their stay. Sustainability is a key component, particularly in terms of renewable energy sources and minimising waste, and also by helping to promote urban sustainable tourism. The cost of many digitalisation and technology projects, though, could prove to be a barrier to their implementation in smaller cities, but joint ventures between close destinations could help to reduce costs. So on to Europe, where hipster holidays are enticing visitors. Travellers to European cities have long visited traditional tourist areas and attractions. However, there has been a recent move to exploring areas outside of the mainstream. Hipster neighbourhoods have been expanding throughout global cities, with young professionals seeking to live in areas that were once undesirable, but which are now trendy. Visitors are now also embracing these districts, seeking to experience the hipster culture, which traditionally typically involves pop-up restaurants, vegan cafes, independent shops, and art galleries and craft breweries. Airbnb and its peers have played a central role in opening up these areas to tourists, as many lack hotels and private rentals are often the only option for staying locally. According to Elaine Willemets, founder and community manager of Like a Local website and tours, The trend is to be where it's at. So instead of concentrating all their activities around the historical centres of cities, young and hip travellers are now checking out what are the best areas for foodies and where the creative people hang out, with participation being a huge part of their visit. So as you can see here on this chart, Dalston is where it's at in London, District 7 in Budapest, and also at Amsterdam Nord. So as many cities across the globe struggle with the effects of excessive tourism, the opening up of these alternative areas has helped diversify European urban attractions. Tour guides and sites such as Viable have already jumped on the bandwagon, offering hipster tours of specific city districts, often delivered by local residents, to provide authenticity. Online travel sites such as Like a Local have developed guides to many of these destinations, listing up-to-date reviews of the ever-changing hipster scene. However, by its very nature, the hipster trend will evolve quickly as destinations become more popular and mainstream, resulting in other, edgier locations becoming the new alternative haunts. So now to travel technology, where we're seeing the advent of smart travel. So technology is about to transform the travel experience even more to make it richer and more enjoyable on the basis of travellers' personal preferences. Thanks to mobile technology and big data analytics, travel companies and technology players will be able to suggest exciting things for travellers to do at their location. Suggestions will be personalised, cross-checking data on consumers' preferences and current location with online inventories of local travel services and activities. Mobile technology is the driving force behind this trend, with mobile travel sales to residents predicted to reach over $80 billion for both Western Europe and North America by 2019, and mobile travel sales in Asia Pacific will reach $56 billion. Today, companies have the possibility to collect a wealth of information about consumers that was previously unavailable to them, usually referred to as big data. Additionally, beacon technology is expected to take off in the next few years as a powerful tool to provide personalized experiences to consumers on the go. A gradual shift to one-to-one marketing in travel will be evident, with each consumer treated in a different way in terms of the overall marketing mix, including pricing. In future, all large travel companies are expected to provide personalized mobile services. OTAs such as Booking.com and Expedia are currently working on customers' preferences to increase booking conversions, and they'll move to personalized mobile services next. Other companies well positioned to offer this service in future, thanks to their vast knowledge of consumers, include Google, TripAdvisor, Apple, and Facebook. And now let's explore the Middle East, where the report predicts that Iran will be the next must-see destination. With the evolving international situation, it's likely that Iran will soon open up to more involvement with the rest of the world. This will be a major development for Middle East tourism in the coming years, with Iran having the potential to be a key player due to its unique culture and its heritage. Adventure tourism and skiing are also some of the more unlikely attractions of Iran, which boasts 19 ski resorts as well as hiking, mountain climbing, and bird watching. The Iranian government has already taken steps to boost tourism by enabling many nationalities, such as French, German, and Russian citizens, to obtain a visa upon arrival. Current visitors to Iran are mainly sourced from neighbouring countries, with 1.65 million Iraqis visiting in 2014. No foreign brands officially operate in the Iranian market. However, many regionally strong brands are already preparing for entry. Ratana's Rayhan Hotel and Resorts brand is aimed at Muslim travellers, and the company is preparing for 4 properties to open in Tehran and Mashhad by 2018. The majority of Iran's 77 million population doesn't currently have huge purchasing power, but if sanctions are lifted and the economy improves, an increase in consumer expenditure is extremely likely. However, the years of international isolation have left the tourism infrastructure in need of major investment, particularly hotels, facilities, and transportation. Banking processes are also a vital area of reform, as online or credit card payments are virtually impossible inside Iran, as well as payments from overseas to local travel companies. So to Africa, where startups are stimulating travel demand. Technology startups are flourishing across Africa, which is entering a new era of innovation, boosting economies and offering a new image to international tourists. In July 2015, US President Barack Obama visited the Startup Conference in Kenya, aimed at supporting Africa's inventors, entrepreneurs, and future business leaders. According to the World Bank, over half the countries in Africa have at least one tech hub, while investments via this hub model doubled in 2014, reaching $27 million US. Mark Essien, CEO of Hotels.ng, says the growing technology sector in Africa is helping to expand the travel industry. Easier online discovery, combined with growing consumer confidence in online bookings, has made it extremely straightforward for us to cater directly to travelers' needs. While the current focus for tourism in the tech hub community is largely concentrated on facilitating business trips and app development, there are a growing number of travel startups, such as Hotels.ng in Nigeria and AwesomeSouthAfrica.com. With many of the startups aiming for regional operations, air travel and lodging are likely to reap the most benefit. It's hoped that with increased business visitors to the continent as a result of the high-tech hubs, this will also encourage more leisure tourists as facilities are upgraded and improved. So to the global village, where hotels are going into crowdsourcing. Luxury hotels are turning to crowdsourcing and crowdfunding to get their properties financed, rather than relying on traditional sources of investment, such as banks. Would-be hoteliers are asking consumers through social media to pitch their ideas for new lodging opportunities, with feedback crucial for hotel design and development phases. Following this step, individual investors are sought to raise the capital through crowdfunding, with contributors receiving benefits or free stays when visiting the hotel in the future. The luxury segment will be the main player in this new trend, as there are potentially long lead times for crowdfunding projects to get off the ground, and the concept is best suited to individual hotels with unique features. The leading markets for luxury hotel openings include India, Russia, the UAE and China, which all saw growth of over 5% in 2014 in terms of outlets. Crowdsourcing has the potential to significantly change future hotel design and creation, and isn't restricted to the design of new properties. Crowdfunding has its roots in the US and Europe, but with global internet access at 40% and growing, Asia is likely to see development, particularly as hotel demand continues to expand in the region. Another potential next step is the creation of themed hotels funded by small-time investors who share a passion, resulting in almost guaranteed demand from customers. Content from hobbies, books, TV shows, and films could easily lend itself to the creation of crowdsourced themed hotels, with, for example, Game of Thrones a potential winner. However, crowdsourced hotels will need to be careful to maintain a unique element to their offer. Otherwise, consumers will choose to be no longer involved in either ideas or funding. So onwards to Asia, where the sharing economy is finally being embraced by China. The sharing economy struggled to take off in China, with ownership of goods a key goal for many Chinese consumers, as well as a lack of trust in the concept of sharing with strangers. However, in 2014, Chinese sharing economy firms have now expanded, styling themselves after Western counterparts such as Airbnb and Uber, familiar to consumers after traveling abroad. Smartphones have aided this expansion, providing users with immediate internet access and data on demand. Car sharing and private rentals are the most popular travel sharing sites, with local social media sites such as Weibo and WeChat used for reviews and feedback. According to Carl Shepard, co-founder and member of the board of directors at HomeAway, There is so much growth and competition in China's short-term rental market that we've made the strategic decision to invest in a strong local partner who can quickly react to the changing local market. Local brands have been much more dynamic than international sharing companies, with Tujia, Mai, and Saozu operating in private rentals, and Didi, Kuaidi, and Yongche dominating in taxi and car sharing. Trust is potentially the biggest hurdle to overcome in China for the sharing economy to expand, but younger consumers who are constantly connected are helping to alter perceptions. Hong Kong has seen the launch of some more unusual sharing economy travel options, such as rent a suitcase and high-tech camera hire, which could transfer to mainland China. Other countries in Asia, such as the Philippines and Thailand, are also dipping into the sharing economy with grassroots operations such as Tripod for carpooling and Local Alike for experiences. So finally, let's take a look at India, where travel companies are offering alternative payment schemes for the huge unbanked population. As only 7% of India's villages possess a bank, rural consumers make up the majority of India's consumers who do not have a bank account, an estimated 500 million people in 2015, according to the Bank of India. These individuals are often known as unbanked. For many of these consumers, travelling and booking tickets online may appear an unrealistic dream, but the situation is slowly changing as travel companies reach out to the unbanked. The cash-on-delivery payment model has seen great success with online retailing, and a number of travel companies have established a service for ticketing, such as Jet Airways and Indian Railways. Consumers book a ticket online, often using a travel agent or internet cafe, and a cash payment is collected, after which the ticket can be downloaded or delivered in person. Online travel sales are expected to increase significantly by 2019, particularly for direct airline sales and online travel agents. Internet access for India's rural population and smaller cities looks set to expand dramatically, leading to over 320 million internet users by 2019. This improved internet access, combined with a growing availability of mobile phones, is likely to result in increased mobile payments and applications for unbanked consumers. ClearTrip, one of India's leading OTAs, reported that 26% of online users and 18% of mobile users prefer to pay for all their travel bookings by the cash-on-delivery method in 2015. For many emerging markets, these types of purchases can be seen as a way of creating trust in online bookings as payment and ticket delivery are carried out at the same time. They can also be considered as the first important step to preparing for a move to cashless payments. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the key findings of this year's Global Trends Report. So the team that compiled it are ready and waiting to take all of your questions. In case any of you have to dash off and can't